rather be known as a game designer, first and foremost. I do a lot of things these days to do with MoonFrog and the business, but most of my time, what I want to spend my time on, the problems I like thinking about, are all to do with design of games. You just need to understand your audience. At the end of the day, if you don't know who they are, then who's to know what you're making isn't just going to go into the ether and sort of disappear, right? So you need to, and if you're not making a game for anybody in particular, you should at least be honest about it. I'm making this game for myself, and that's fine if you want to do that. In that case, you're an artist, and or later you if you want to be an artist. But if you want to be commercial, you should really understand your audience.
Tell us some more about MoonFrog.
Okay, MoonFrog. So MoonFrog, what I like to say about MoonFrog, I like to say that we make fantastic mobile games.
Okay.
Founded by a team of, absolute experts in our respective fields, from, computer science, design, to product. We have very deep experience in the gaming sector.
Okay.
And what we decided to do was move from Zynga, where we all sort of met each other, and form a fast, nimble game company.
Okay.
Focused primarily on mobile games for India.
Okay, so which brings me to my next question, Oliver. So mobile gaming in India has recently seen an up in terms of the content, in terms of the gameplay, in terms of design, in terms of all the parameters. So what's your take on that? How far do you think this is going in India?
I think there's such huge potential. It's almost as if, just look at it this way. There are currently 111 million smartphones, and I consider anyone who owns a smartphone a potential gamer. So 111 million potential gamers in India currently. So that's a lot, and that is growing at about 84% year on year.
Okay.
So just imagine all the mobile, and that's more than US, UK combined.
Okay.
And that's entirely new. People who are just buying smartphones for the first time and discovering games potentially.
Okay.
For the first
so you said some time back that you were with Zynga before you moved on to MoonFrog. So why the transition?
It's about, at Zynga we worked on some really fantastic projects. We got a great experience there working on these large scalable games, and we just saw there was an opportunity in mobile.
Okay.
That as perhaps Zynga wasn't jumping on so fast, and we saw there was an opportunity there. So that's why we decided to transition. And we also, it's the difference between being in a large organization and a small, nimble organization. An organization that can develop quickly and do experiments on our own time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the upcoming projects from MoonFrog Labs which we can expect of?
What's coming?
Everybody wants to know what's coming. That's the thing about spoilers.
I don't want to spoil it, but we are exploring. We're exploring every avenue right now. Anything that we think will work in India, we are looking into it.
Okay.
So there are lots of games unique to India that we think have potential. And what we're doing right now is prototyping, trying to figure out what works, what resonates with our players. We've already seen some huge success.
Okay.
With Teen Patty, which is a 3-card poker game, and top 5 grossing on iOS and Android currently. And we're just thinking, well, what's the next step? What do those players like? Are there new players that we haven't discovered yet? How can we capture the market? How can we become the Zynga of India?
Okay. So so tell me, you are a designer yourself.
Yeah.
And between design and story in a game, it just so happens usually there's a fight. Okay, so I have this character in mind, but the story can't suit the character. And then there's a vice versa situation, that there's an awesome story out there, but somehow the design is lacking. So how does one win this battle?
Okay, it's a bit of to and fro, and in game design we have a very pretentious term for this. It's called Ludonarrative Dissonance.
Okay. This is like Star Labs information for me. But
so you have to excuse the game designy terms. What it essentially means, sometimes the narrative, what you're hearing, what you're reading, does not match what you're playing.
Okay.
So, or even worse, sometimes the narrative completely interrupts your game. So perhaps I don't know, I'm playing a platform game, I'm exploring a world, perhaps a mystic, I don't know, a forest, and then I find a signpost, and the signpost, it has like a wall of text, and I have to stop and read it. My experience is sort of interrupted. I want to walk around and experience an emergent narrative that sort of comes out of the environment instead of having a juxtaposition of text and game. I don't think those two things, if you're not careful, they don't marry very well.
Okay, so you were here at NGDC and you've given a speech here and a workshop, I'm presuming. So how was the experience like?
Oh, so I'm giving it tomorrow. Should I?
As in, how would you like? How are you looking forward to it? Like, how do you expect it to be?
Okay. What I hope to do is encourage people, local developers, to think differently about how they go about design.
Okay.
And think about all first of all, the opportunity, the market, and how to really understand people better, understand who you're making games for.
Okay.
So in my talk, what I'm doing is going through a survey that I did myself. As obviously I'm not Indian, and MoonFrog is 99% Indian actually, but I'm the only Britisher there. And what we all realize is that we aren't actually a representative of who we're making games for. The market is so much larger than just us. Okay. So what I did was get on a plane and go to a city in Gujarat called Surat. And there I must have surveyed 30 to 40 people who play games.
Okay.
And I observed them. I went into their homes. I did everything that you could in order to get close enough, but while it's still remaining legal. And I strapped cameras to their heads. I videotaped them playing games. Just in order
so
to
you just
better
went like gorilla on them.
Exactly.
Like, okay, I just need to know what you do exactly.
These are the lengths that you have to go to in order to understand India and how to design games for that market.
So do you think it's tough designing a game in India, or no? That's just a notion.
It's tough. If it were easy, then I think everyone would be finding success.
So, but this disparity is this disparity true? Like that designing a game in India is much tougher in comparison to any other country?
I like to think of it. I like to think that if you can design a game for India, or if you can win in India, you can design a game for anyone.
Thank you, Oliver, for sharing those insights with us. It was a pleasure having you here. Thanks a lot.
Okay.